everybody? Welcome back to City Skylines. This is Swaney, and welcome to the very first episode of Oakville, my City Skylines mini series based off North Carolina and the areas composited outside of the coastal lines and the countryside lines. So, in this very first episode, we're going to start off by building a commercial area and a little trailer park area to kind of resemble what I'm kind of going for. Now, in City Skylines in particular, and what I was trying to go for at the beginning was to try to go for a rather more countryside, urban, uh, sort of residential type area here that I'm kind of planning out in this area. As you can see, I'm placing down a little bit of trailers and mobile homes to kind of resemble a little woodland countryside type theme, as you would find in places like Faison, North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina, uh, Clayton, North Carolina, and a lot of these areas outside of Wake County that are composited of the capital areas in which I'm gonna go for here. Now, in this episode, we're not going to focus on building the city quite yet. I'm trying to focus more on the outside areas and the countryside type areas and the coastal areas. So the coastal areas will be something that will be left out for now, but once I get to the probably the last bit of the series, I'll finish off the coastal areas that I've uh, left for now. But for right now, the main goal is to add a lot of the vegetation, which comes inside of the countryside and a lot of the highway and stuff. So I'm gonna try to finish off my highways and connect them and have a little variety of system similar to the highways related to the outside areas in North Carolina, such as Interstate 85, Interstate 440, and a lot of the state roads, which are a big system of the North Carolina compository of territory, and a lot of the areas in between. So there will be a lot of roads which will lead you to different towns and different cities. This is going to be a very large project. I'm hoping to make it huge and big and composited of many episodes, since I am currently not doing vlogs anymore, and a lot of my gaming ideas have come to quite a little bit of an extensive end. But City Skylines will become one of my greatest but longest contents out there for you guys. So for any of you who play with mods and download them from Steam and hope to get some sort of inspiration for creating a city like this, then be my guest and watch my videos and get some ideas for your own. And I hope to see your ideas come to life and try to get some resemblance out of those ideas. But more to the topic is that in this episode here, I best tried to create a shopping center, mostly referenced by North Carolina's Durham areas and Morrisville areas, as well as the Apex areas that are uh, part of the capital outside areas of North Carolina. And I try to go more for a countryside feel with this shopping center that I try to build. As you can see here, I've placed down a Bank of America building, which is pretty good. I was trying to look more for McDonald's being placed there before that Bank of America was placed there. But of course, it's never too bad to experience with new buildings and add different logos to your city to bring it more to life. And then from here, I'm beginning to place down the existing entering roads of my Food Lion and Piggly Wiggly commercial establishments, which will be placed here for now and will remain there for the rest of the series. Now, I was eager to add the Food Lion here in this area because I kind of imagined a lot of the people in the trailer parks and in the countryside would come into town and get a lot of their groceries here, and a lot of the trailer park residents as well, which have been added earlier. Well, I also imagine that they will come here and shop and grab their needs. Um, I myself, in my early years, I lived in a trailer park myself, and come to think of it, we had some sort of resemblance like this, where we had a trailer park in the back of a Food Lion commercial outlet, and it really brings a lot of memories, and that's why I kind of made it this way, and that's why I wanted to resemble it in that sort of way, because it really brought that southern feel, and it went more for the style I was trying to go to. So this outcome is looking pretty good. The only tedious thing about this part was placing the parking lots and placing the parking spots, which I do presume that this is the only mod that I trust with making parking lots. They do end up looking pretty good in this. This is the only resort of mine, and so yeah, this parking lot here is these parking lots by I don't know the creator or the name of the creator, but he did such a good job in trying to resemble the areas and trying to fit the roads here. But as you can see, I just added a Piggly Wiggly, which I mentioned earlier, in which honestly is found in a lot of parts of North Carolina and a lot of parts of Georgia, and I do think that in South Carolina as well. Um, Piggly Wiggly grocery stores are found there too. So many of you coastal people who are watching this, or people who live in the coast in the south, might sort of see a little resemblance of what I'm talking about. But yeah, Piggly Wiggly. I don't know much about the grocery store. I do know that once I think when was it? When was it? I went to New Bern once for a little vacation with my family, and come to think of it, I ended up seeing a Piggly Wiggly there, and seeing how it's so close to home but so close to the coast. I decided to add a Piggly Wiggly as well to go with my City Skyline series, since it was since this little area that I'm building off in City Skylines is very close to home. So that's why I decided to add this Piggly Wiggly for a little bit of a reference, but a little bit of a sort of how would I say it? A little bit of detail here and there. So I wanted to keep that there as an Easter egg, so it would look pretty good and pretty wise. And I also decided to add one of North Carolina's infamous gas stations, which is Sheets, which is sort of like a 7-Eleven and a Wawa, which people in the north might be a little bit familiar to since they shop there and eat there. Um, so yeah, down here in North Carolina, we don't have any 7-Elevens or Wawas, so this is the only thing we have to stick with, which is Sheets. It's most recognized in the South for selling hot dogs, just like Hoagies and 7-Eleven. And yeah, we have that as our 7-Eleven here in our Wawa. So we get the freshest coffee from there, a lot of good snacks, a lot of good treats for people who have a sweet teeth or sweet tooth. And yeah, I wasn't trying to go for anything too fancy here. I was having trouble finding the perfect parking lines. I wanted to make some functional parking lines for this little Sheets joint or food joint gas station slash, but I wasn't able to find any good resembling result for this little area. So I had to stick with creating my own parking spots and parking areas for the Sheets outlet gas station. So that wasn't very hard. But probably soon I'll be able to add a little bit more details like the curbs, which I kind of decided to leave out because I had forgot to add or download extra curbs for my city. A lot of it comes in between, a lot of it doesn't, but it looked pretty good. Um, I didn't forget to add the mulch for this sheets, which came pretty good. And honestly, the creators, I give them a lot of shout out for creating these little details for this for this sort of type of area. I give a shout out also to King Leno, who has created, and I who was it? Who was us? Oh, Kano. I want to also give a shout out to Kano and King Leno for releasing and making these assets possible for this southern type series, in which I'm proud to say that will be complete by the end of this month, or maybe even earlier. But looking at the point of things, I do presume that everything is going to look pretty good by the end of the series. Um, Building the highways and building the outside connections wasn't too bad for me. I'm sort of familiar with adding and constructing highways and city skylines. I know my way around highways, but it's just sometimes the areas are very limited to big structures like highways to be added for. So in North Carolina, we usually have like 2 lane uh freeways or highways in coastal, and I do presume uh countryside areas in particular. So I had a little bit of trouble trying to create my own bridges and uh, off ramps and overpasses here. So it was kind of a challenge, but I tried to sort of make way so that way my trucks wouldn't clip through the um the the short overpass, and I try to maximize it, and I try to measure it out and try to keep it at the same length as the roads. So I didn't have much trouble building this overpass here. The only thing tedious was keeping the highway off ramps realistic. I try to also add a little bit of my own ideas, and it came out to look pretty good. A lot of the details also come with thinking and downloading. So a lot of that was all thanks to the creators who created them and my imagination. So hopefully sometime in the future I'll be able to sort of decorate and add a little bit of the future references and whatnot. I wasn't able to download any barns for the plains and the countrysides and the fields, but I am presuming that probably maybe soon I'll add some barns to these fields since they are looking pretty empty. And a lot of the things that you end up seeing a lot here in the south are these overhang traffic lights, which look pretty good, and they do match the resemblance of the countryside here. And you also tend to have a lot of power lines and a lot of fields and a lot of country houses, a little bit of housing here and there, but you do tend to have like a lot of house openings and open houses around certain areas that are booming with citizens and the population. But here and there, I'm gonna try to resemble a little bit of that, have open houses or like neighborhoods or whatnot, and try to resemble sort of a s- um, sort of a Wake Forest type feel, hopefully. And maybe by then I'll be able to create the capital area, which resembles a city. The countryside and the country areas were pretty fun to build. I didn't have any anticipation or any hesitation with building them. They came out pretty perfect, and I gotta say I'm a big fan of them. The only thing I couldn't add to the highways were the little highway extensions, or like the exit extensions, which usually do come with the highways. I wasn't able to add those, but I wanted to add them, but I couldn't add them, so I'll have to download some mods from the Steam Workshop once again for that problem to be knocked out. And another problem that I actually had was with the power lines. I couldn't add enough power lines to the city because a lot of them would be too short and would be so unrealistic that they wouldn't look anywhere close to the real thing. So a lot of the power lines and a lot of the realistic power lines and whatnot, I got it from Jack Skellington, who is a very very big YouTuber, and he focuses a lot on creating a lot of hardware and let me see, a lot of power lines for the game. So huge shout out to Jack Skellington for creating these great and awesome power lines for my city and for other people's cities as well. So shout out to him once again, and King Leno and Kano, and a lot of these city skylines mod creators who did such a good job and spent so much time creating these great outcomes for our cities, because thanks to him we have the best results for our city. And yeah, guys, I do hope you guys enjoy the video as well. We are coming sort of to an end here in just a bit. A lot of the areas in the next episode will probably be filled in by then, or I'll probably just fill them in by the next episode or whatnot. But I'm not too sure yet. A lot of the areas are still waiting to be created and designed. And then probably expand the further highway areas outside of the countryside to connect with the capital. So hopefully by then I'll have a few huge but great system to deal with. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Swaney, I'm out.